Right, guys, today we are going to be talking about the sample team. Alakazam, Executor, Starmie with Chansey, Snorlax, and Tauros, of course. It is valid for Gen 1 OU. Now, what is the game plan? What's the move? Well, first off, let's talk about the lead. You want to have Alakazam as your lead because this is the Pokemon you want to get put to sleep. If they're running Gengar, Jinx, even Starmie, this is the Pokemon that you want to get put to sleep or get matched up with the Starmie. You're going to be running Seismic Toss Psychic, so that way you can deal big damage to Starmie and Psychic to chip whatever you want to down. And then Thunder Wave, of course, to try and paralyze as many things. I would not really recommend going Thunder Wave at the beginning unless you know for sure your opponent isn't going to swap out to Chansey because Chansey's the one you want to put to sleep. But still, Thunder Wave is there for those big, fast Pokemon that just want to, go on top of everything and ruin your whole day. And then you have Recover, of course, to keep this thing on the field as long as possible. Against Gengar, you're going to probably go Psychic at the beginning. Maybe they try and bait you out for a Psychic, but that's just not really very productive. It loses them momentum. And Psychic Toss as well. Seismic Toss as well, I apologize, for those extra beefier foes. Next up, we got Executor. We're running Psychic here for good special coverage. And then we're running Sleep Powder as well to try and put maybe their Chansey, Snorlax, Starmie, anything really to sleep. And then Mega Drain, of course, for better Starmie and Ride-On coverage. And then Explosion to explode after you put something to sleep. I mean, that's really the game plan. Mega Drain on the Starmies and on the Ride-Ons and everything that's weak to grass. Maybe, you know, whatever you want, and then Psychic on all of those weak special users, maybe Snorlax, maybe, I don't know, Tauros, very fun stuff. And then Explode whenever you can. I typically like, my main line is, I like to try and sleep the Chansey and then use the Executor to explode on the Tauros if they try and use that as a mid-game pivot. Try and Psychic and then Explosion on Tauros, because Tauros can't destroy this in 2 hits unless he gets a crit, Body Slam, and Hyper Beam. He cannot destroy this in 2 hits most of the time. So yeah, just running Psychic Sleep Powder, absolutely phenomenal. Next up, we got Starmie. Starmie's also running Psychic, but it has Blizzard as well for the Ice coverage. Ice is a very powerful offensive type in Generation 1 because it hits flying super effective. I believe it hits ground super effective. So it's just overall a very versatile type in Gen 1. It's going to be good against Rhydon. It's going to be good against even Zapdos. Dragonite, anything that's flying, it's going to be phenomenal against Thunder Wave to slow down those fast Pokemon. Maybe slow down Cloyster as well so you don't get clamped as much. And then Recover to try and keep this thing on the field as long as possible. Next up, we got Chansey. We are running the best set for Chansey, in my opinion, which is Bolt Beam Chansey. Thunderbolt gives you such good Starmie coverage. Ice Beam gives you crazy Ride-On coverage. Ice, of course, just being the great type that it is. And Thunderbolt being able to hit so many things super effectively as well, especially those pesky Starmies. I mean, that's really why Chansey exists, to pretty much counter Starmie. And then Thunderwave and Soft Boiled, of course, to be paralyzing things and recovering, keeping this on the field as long as possible. You'll notice a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon pretty much run Thunderwave and Recover very, very often. Next up, we got Snorlax. Snorlax is running its typical Body Slam for the paralysis. You want to be slowing down the opposing Pokemon as often as you possibly can. Self-destruct to blow up any low physical, tank or whatever. Just to get that thing off the field, get it off as a nuisance. I would even say self-destructing on Tauros is one of the best things you can do with your Snorlax in this set. And one of the best things you can do is blow up their Tauros. Reflect to deflect all those big physical tanks against Rhydon. This is absolutely insane. And of course, the chance to maybe even paralyzed Rhydon, absolutely insane. Rest to keep this on the field as long as possible. Keep it as a wall. Snorlax pretty much is your wall. Like it's gonna be your third or fourth swap in. After you've maybe put something to sleep or after you've maybe absorbed a few good special hits with Chansey. I mean, Snorlax is pretty much gonna be your third or fourth switch in. And lastly, we have your late game sweeper, Tauros. Tauros running Body Slam for paralysis, Earthquake to maybe hit something super effectively. I mean, I don't exactly know what else you could be running Earthquake for other than maybe Ride-On coverage. Blizzard, of course, for more ice coverage. I mean, flying, all of that fun stuff just absolutely gets abolished by Blizzard. And then Hyper Beam to this is what makes Tauros a late game sweeper. It's one of the fastest Pokemon that gets Hyper Beam with some of the highest attack a Pokemon has. And it just takes everything out that's at like 60% or less health, especially with crits. So yeah, this is what makes Tauros such an overpowered Pokemon. What is the game plan with this team? Well, you're baiting out with Alakazam, and then you're probably switching into Executor once they swap out with to Chansey. Like you're baiting the Thunder Wave, and then once they don't go for it, you swap out to Executor and go for the Sleep Powder, and that's pretty much guaranteed to hit whatever you want it to. Now, it is risky, of course, to do this because you don't know if they're going to swap out their Jinx or if they're going to swap out their Gengar. So I would still recommend going Psychic or Seismic Toss in the beginning and then switching out to your Executor second play. But if you believe they're going to switch out to Chansey, if you get that vibe from him, then sure, go ahead and switch to your Executor and throw something to sleep. The next plan is, I mean, against the big specials, you're going to be using Chansey against Starmie, and then with Starmie, you're going to be, trying to get all of those fun Pokemon, that are very weak to Blizzard and Psychic, like Executor. That's pretty much what you're using Starmie for. Chansey is going to be like Zapdos, Gyarados, Cloyster, Starmie Killer. Like, that's pretty much what Chansey is here for, and putting things in paralysis as well and healing up and staying on the field. Then Snorlax is probably going to be your fourth switch in, trying to paralyze whatever isn't paralyzed left. Maybe destroying a Tauros if they try and mid-game pivot to Tauros before you've gotten up your Reflect. I mean, keeping this Reflect a secret is a very good idea just so you can bait out their Tauros and then explode on it whenever you get the chance. After you maybe body slam it one time. I believe Tauros is within self-destruct range at like 78 or 77. So just trying to get that Tauros off the field. And then, you have your other, swap-ins pretty much. You want to keep cycling these around on the big specials and then using your Executor to clean up whatever you can. Maybe they have a Ride-On, Mega Drain it. Maybe they still have the if they still have the Jinx on the field, maybe go into Chansey and try and Thunderbolt it down. I mean, just a lot of things you can do with this team. Very versatile, very efficient. But yeah, that's the game plan. Bait out with Alakazam, try and sleep with Executor, try and paralyze some things, try and counter some things with Chansey, Starmie. Go into Snorlax, maybe try and explode on their mid-game pivot Tauros, and then sweep at the end once you got everything paralyzed and below like 60% health with the Tauros. This is my most used team. This is my golden child team. I absolutely love this team. And yeah, that's it for this sample review. Hope y'all enjoy.